Hi folks, it's Andy. Hope you're having a fantastic day and Happy New Year 2025. This is the first video we are doing for the new year, and it is a new episode of the Kendo video feedback series. In this series of videos, we take footage that you wonderful channel viewers have sent into us. We watch it together, I give some feedback, and hopefully everybody learns something. Today we're going to be looking at a couple of grading videos, I think it is. We've got one at second dan and one at fifth dan, I think it is, off the top of my head. Yes, that's right. Okay, so we're going to jump to them in just a minute, but before we do, don't forget the YouTube magic. Like, share, subscribe. We had 367 trillion people start Kendo last year just by you wonderful people liking, sharing, subscribing, and most importantly, leaving a comment down below using the word Kendo, okay? So we don't get loads of people starting, I don't know, water polo or something, all right? Use the word Kendo. What a great Kendo video, the best Kendo channel I've ever seen, something like that, and will help grow the Kendo population, all right? More importantly than that, though, if you do like this video and the videos that I put out, I've got big plans for the channel this year. I've got more instructional stuff coming on the way. I think we're going to have some real fun with it. We've got Kendo rant, question and answer type videos that I do, feedback videos like this, and analysis videos like the one I did just at the end of last year on the All Japan Women's 7th Dan Championship. All of these things come to you free of charge. There's no memberships, there's no paying for subtitles, nothing like that. All you have to do to support this channel, and here's the real win-win, is shop at KendoStar.com. Now, KendoStar is the best Kendo equipment website in the history and future of the human race. Now, of course, I would say that because I own the place, but it's true, and everyone agrees with me, all right? KendoStar is a established brand ready to serve the international community with the best quality products and the best service. Don't buy twice, buy first. Buy right first time round. I'll get that right one day, first time. Buy right first time round and shop at KendoStar.com, all right? You get the best products and you get the best service. No one can beat us. Okay, right, let's get to these videos. So, this first one, let's have a look at the message that came with it. It says, hello, Sensei. Here are the links to my second Dan Kendo exam. I passed the exam yesterday. I'm now 47 years old and I'm on the right of both videos. I'd appreciate if you can give me advice so I can improve for the third Dan exam in the future. Okay, that's fine. Now, you send me 2 links to these videos, but they're the same video. All right, so I've only got 1 video of you, but it's fine. That'll be enough. Now, listen, just before I crack on with this, if you're out there watching and you're thinking, you know what, I'd like to have some feedback, I'd like to submit to this, you know, a video for this show, all you have to do is upload it to YouTube, set it to unlisted or public if you don't care, but don't set it to private, and then send me the link. Okay, send me the link by email and give me some information about what it is that I'm looking at, which of the participants you are, stuff like that, so that I can give you the proper advice. Now, I will say, one, I do every single one of these. I haven't missed anyone. Anyone that's sent me a video, I've always covered them. I've done every single one. All right, so I definitely will do it. Having said that, it's a popular show and I've got a lot of submissions, so there's a bit of a backlog. All right, so at the minute I'm running about a month behind. This one came to me about a month ago, so don't panic if you send a video and I don't get back to it, or do it, you know, if I don't do the show straight away. I will do it. It just might take me a few weeks, all right, because it is very, very popular. So, with that being said, you're on the right-hand side in both videos. Let's have a look, shall we? Okay, so that means this side here. Let's have a look. It's second Dan. Okay, let me just have a look at this first. Right, I'm going to be really nitpicky, all right? This is really, really kind of small, tiny thing. But you're putting your hand on the shinai a little bit too early. 1, 2, as you put the right foot out, then take the shinai and make the kamae. Okay, it's a little bit too early. It's a bit nitpicky, all right? But where you wearing the boga looks okay, looks pretty good. Okay. Wow. Okay, so we're going to have to fix your Fumikomi, aren't we? All right? I think you're going to struggle to get through third Dan if we can't figure out how to use this left leg a little bit more effectively. Okay? So Fumikomi is hardly ever a problem with the right leg. It's a problem with the left leg. And what you're doing here is you're kind of stepping out with the right leg, and look how big this swing is with the shinai as well. So the foot is landing miles and miles and miles before the shinai is even on its way down. Okay, so what you need to do more is focus more on your left leg and how it's going to push you forward for your Fumikomi. That's the key part. All right, and you don't need to swing the shinai back like this. You need to push your left hand forward. It's all about the left leg and the left hand here. All right, so that we can make a smaller, sharper swing with the shinai and push off with the left leg, so that if we break it down into super slow motion like this, actually the shinai will make impact a split second before the foot. But when you watch it at full speed, it will all look cohesive and together. Whereas in this case, it doesn't. It looks disjointed. Okay. Da-dun, like that, da-dun. The foot goes down and the shinai is disjointed, all right? So really want you to think about pushing off on that left leg, okay? I like that you tried to use a different waza. Probably you were thinking they were going to come from men, so he's going to do men kaishido. Fine, fine, okay? It's good that at Nidan you're starting to show that you know there's more than just men strikes. So I can see that one of the problems here, right, with this left leg issue is that your heel's flat on the ground, okay? So because your heel's flat on the ground, your weight is kind of back this way. So all you can do is step out with the right, which is basically what happens here, yeah? So, you know, I mean, again, I mean, technically, you're sort of a similar timing, but look how big the swing of your shinai is here. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so I want you to push more forward with the left leg so it doesn't come up and down, so that it can just look a lot more cohesive. All right, this is all right. I get, you know, but for Sandan, I think they're going to be a bit more strict on that. Okay. Okay, good Kaishido there. You got to remember, Sandan is essentially. Okay, so there we are. Okay, good. Nice short gradient. It's usually what you have. Well, Sandan, we went through this. If you've seen the video I did recently about how to pass the different gradings, Sandan is the last one where they're looking at strictly at your technical ability, all right? So you've got to get that footwork sorted, that Fumikomi sorted, all right? So I don't want to say too much about the rest of the Shinsa. It's not too, you know, there's no issues with it. I like that you're using different waza, you're using them effectively, using them at right timings. That's all fantastic. I just want to sharpen up the technical element now, all right? So I want to make sure that you're using your left leg better to push your body forward, all right, and grip the shinai more with the left hand rather than the right hand, so that you can make a smaller swing with the shinai without withdrawing the tip of the shinai. I don't want you to bring the shinai away from the opponent. Keep the tip of the shinai towards the opponent as you bring it in for that men strike, okay? And you can only do that by pushing the left hand forward, okay? The left hand needs to move in a, I'm going to do this in the right way, forward this way, okay? Rather than using the right hand to pull back this way, okay? So you don't want, you know, in a sort of as an impression, your left hand shouldn't go in front of your right hand. Should be this way rather than this way. Does that make sense? Okay, if you work on those two things, I don't think you'll have a problem with Sandan at all. All right, so I really don't think you will. All right, because otherwise you're doing super well. All right, super duper well. Okay, so well done, great job. Okay, and I wish you the best for going for your Sandan. Okay, so next one. I think this is a resubmission. When I say that, I mean this submission has been sent to us before. So let's read the thing. Okay, so not this submission, but this person has sent a submission in before. Hi Andy, I already sent you a video some months ago, and you can to kindly ask for feedback on my attempt at 5th Dan exam. Since I intended to try the exam again last July. You gave me some great advice. Work on the relationship, attack with more logic. And I tried to work on it, but unfortunately it seems I wasn't ready and I failed again. And other videos because spectators weren't and couldn't enter the gym as the gym was small. Okay. Since September, I decided to close our very small and somewhat amateur dojo, move to a larger dojo where the teachers are 7th Dan. Okay. In the gym, they strongly encouraged me to retake the exam. So yesterday I tried for the 5th time. Okay. Beyond the fact that after so many failures, I started the exam already tense and a bit discouraged, and that I'd handled with difficulty the first practitioner in Jordan, it seems to me that I managed the second jitsugi correctly, at least in the central interactions. I'm not disappointed because in the end, I don't want to reduce Kendo to merely chasing the exam, but I would be happy to have more feedback from you on yesterday's attempt to know if you think there's been any improvement. Thanks in advance. Okay. In the first part of the video, there's no audio due to technical issues. Okay, no problem. All right, so look, good. Let me tell you straight off, right? You're not reducing Kendo merely to chasing exams. What you're actually doing, if you ask me, is you are highlighting, and you're a fantastic example here of why the grading process is so important for our Kendo development, all right? Because what you are doing here is you are consistently polishing your Kendo, working towards, you know, at the moment, the stage of passing that exam. And it's not about passing the exam for the sake of recognition or for the sake of acceptance or status, all right? It's a personal journey, right? But what you're doing is you're using the process of attacking this exam or attempting this exam in order to tangibly improve your Kendo, and that's the point, all right? So that's why you don't just sit satisfied at X grade. So I think that's really important and really a really excellent thing. So I think you're doing a brilliant thing by carrying on challenging this grade, all right, regardless of the results. Now, look, I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard work if your first opponent is in Jordan. You know, I get it. So doesn't help with things. But let's have a look, shall we, and see what's happening. So you're okay. You've labelled it very nicely. Okay, great. So this is a fifth dan. Now, again, let me just qualify this one thing. And I think I said this last time. Right now, I'm not qualified to sit on the grading panel for fifth dan. Okay, you have to have seventh dan to be sat on the panel for fifth dan. And right now, I only have sixth dan. So I'm not qualified to sit on an examination panel for this level. However, all I can do is give you my advice, speaking as somebody that has passed the exam, and give you my point of view as to how I understand the criteria for it. All right, because frankly, I do think that my understanding of the criteria for fifth dan has changed somewhat even since I took the exam. Now, I happened to pass the exam when I took it, but I think thinking back, I didn't fully understand the criteria properly. I kind of, I guess I kind of happened to get it right. But it resulted in probably a shinsa that for me, now I don't have a recording of my fifth dan exam, but like my own fifth dan exam, I do remember it quite clearly. It wasn't the best shinsa I've ever done. It wasn't a great shinsa. It was okay. It was, I felt I was borderline. So I was happy that I was able to pass, but I know that it wasn't a clear and definite pass. Whereas, and that's because that results from the fact that I feel like I didn't fully understand the criteria back in those days, where I do feel like when I approached sixth dan, for example, I felt I understood the criteria pretty well. And I feel like my sixth dan exam was a successful grading. That's the point I'm coming at this from, okay? Okay, so we don't have audio, so it's a bit difficult. Okay, so this doesn't help, does it, right? The first thing you've got is this Jordan player. So here's the thing is, I don't know if this action here, it's not super clear, right? Now, it's easy to look at a recording and say, but obviously on the day, looking at this from potentially the point of view of grading panel, how they're going to assess that in terms of this action here now where you stepped in, was that you trying to, like, if you're going to be honest with yourself, this is a rhetorical question for yourself. Is this you trying to get him to attack your men so that you could do the Ojuwaza? Because I see you tried to do the Ojuwaza. Or is it you sort of moving independently and then he happened to attack? But in either case, obviously it's better for it to be the first one, but in either case, the problem is you weren't ready when he came because he was able to hit your men, okay? So that's the issue there, all right? I think the gauging of the Mai is good, but the problem is when you took that step in, you weren't actually prepared for him to come, okay? Which allowed him the first strike, okay? So the issue I've got here, it's kind of a strategic one more than anything else, all right? But I appreciate we don't get the chance often to fight against Jordan, so we don't always know what the best strategy is. But he spent a very long time at this sort of distance, which is a distance in which he can hit you, but you can't hit him, all right? Remember, he's going to use the katate waza, all right? So he's going to get another sort of this much distance on a strike once he leaps forward. He could probably hit you from here, okay? But you can't reach him from there, all right? So, like this, the time spent at this distance here, to me, I'm unsure of what it's for. Does that make sense? Like, I'm unsure of why you want to stay at this distance. I think for me, probably what I'd want to do is try to get close as soon as I can, and then with the intention of getting him to hit, and if he doesn't try to hit me, then I'm going to hit him, all right? Which I sort of understand, but, you know, and as I say, I know he can hit you from here, but he knows you can't hit him from there, right? And we're talking 5th dan level Kendo here, right? So he knows you can hit him from here. Sorry, he can hit you, you can't hit him. The only thing you can do from here is Ojuwaza, right? So he's going to be super careful about throwing stuff out at you because he knows that the only thing you can do is Ojuwaza, all right? Whereas if you put a little bit more pressure on him, threaten him a bit more, you're going to realize that if he doesn't do something soon, you're going to hit him, all right? So he's going to have to try and hit you, right? That's the kind of pressure that's going to become implied to him. Do you know what I'm saying? And then you're going to be more likely to get some kind of response or reaction from him that you can then deal with. So this is good. This part is good. All I'm saying is it took a long time to get here, right? This part's good semi. And I'm thinking right now, oh, brilliant. He's going to hit this kote, right? He's going to hit this kote, right? That's what it sort of looks like, right? But you went for men, even though the guy lifted his arms over his head. You understand what I mean? So it wasn't the right waza choice, okay? All right? That's all I'd say on that regard, all right? It wasn't quite the correct waza choice, all right? So again, I'd be getting in another step closer here. That's going to be, so, you know, if this is Chudan, the problem is you don't have this situation in Chudan. You don't have this situation. You do. I mean, you have this situation in Chudan, but when it's Chudan versus Jordan, you don't. Because when you're at this distance here, he can hit you, but you can't hit him. So, you know, you're kind of at a disadvantage in lots of ways, not in just the fact that you can be hit and he can't really be. He knows your only tactic here is Ojuwaza. So he's got information. So what I feel like is that, like, he's putting a lot more pressure on you than you are on him. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And essentially the outcomes are that when you put the pressure on before, great, but it didn't result in a datotsu. But when he starts to put the pressure on you like now, he results in one. So it makes the assessment of him come up. Do you understand what I mean? Essentially, the way it works at this kind of grading is everyone starts here, right? And then imagine you get plus points, all right? You get plus points. I don't like to think of it too much as you get negative points. I don't think you should get negative points. Everyone starts here, and then you get plus points, and then you have to get a certain number of plus points to pass, right? Well, this part is obviously relative to everybody. So it what's happening here is, okay, your semi is good, okay, +1, and no datotsu, so no +1. Okay, his semi is good, and datotsu, so +1. All right, okay, good. And then your semi is good, okay, +1, and then his semi is good, so +1, and then he gets another datotsu +1. And you see how he's coming ahead there. So then he's going to reach that threshold when you just fall short of it, if that makes sense. I think as well, I think there's a little bit too much tension in your right arm, and this could be due to nerves of the Shinzo course, but I think it's preventing you to do Kaishi Waza, which is what you really need to do. Tsuriyage Waza against Jordan's super hard, especially on the same side as the Shinai that they've got, because they're going to do this and their arm's going to be in the way of Shinai. So you want to receive on one side and hit on the other side is for me personally an easier way. Okay, so do you see where we're having an issue now because we're struggling? Here, again, I think he's had 3 points now, but you haven't had any. So if we go back to talking about that plus points, yeah, even if you're getting the semi, do you know what I'm saying? So that's the issue. Okay, we're starting to get sound. Okay, right. So I think that's the issue here. I don't know what's going to happen in the second one, but I think this is a difficult grading for you. And it's difficult, especially because your partner's in Jordan. And you can't control that. I understand that, all right? But I want to see if that happens again. I want to see you put more pressure on them and more, like... It's really difficult because what you have to do is you have to be hungry to hit, but you have to be patient at the same time. So you have to be aggressively patient, right? Whereas what it looks like in here is you're just being patient. Does that make sense? There's not enough of the aggressive patience. Does that make sense? I know it's a bit of a paradox, but, you know, the time spent at a distance that's advantageous to him and disadvantageous to you is a bit too much. And like I say, the times when you did do the semi, you either weren't quite ready to react for him, or you just happened, you made a mistake in terms of the waza that you selected. Okay, all right. So now you're on the right side. Okay, let's have a look. Do we have sound now? Oh, we got sound now. Okay. This is good. This is good. I'll look at this shotachi.
Wow.
No problem. Okay, so look, here's the thing, right? Here's a similar thing that happened in the Jordan match, okay? Semi is good here. Semi is good. But when it's time to act, you're a split second too late, yeah? So you're not quite ready, all right? So you end up, doing the same, come on, then hit me, and then they actually hit you. That's the last thing you want, all right? So you have to be ready, all right? I'm not, were you trying to do it Tsuriyage? Or maybe I meant, I don't know, but the swing's too big on the Shinai, all right? Because you got there already, but then when you hit, men like this, all right? So it's a question of that, really. I think you're super capable of passing this exam. Let me just put that out there, all right? This is not a technical issue with your Kendo so much, all right? You are absolutely capable of passing this exam, all right? But it's some really small, subtle things that you have to grasp. Okay? Okay, right. See, so I think, do you know what it is, right? It looks like, I'm telling you what it looks like. I'm not saying this is what it is. Right? I'm saying what it looks like. It looks like you're doing the semi. You're putting your intention into them. Come on, then. Let's see what you've got. Let's go. Come on, hit me. And then, when the moment comes, there's a like shred or tiny bit of hesitation or doubt in your mind that's stopping you fully committing to the strike when the time's there. Do you understand? It's almost like, oh, is it really now? Is it really now? Yeah, okay, sort of thing. And that's what's sort of holding you back. Do you understand what I mean? So what I really want you to do is I really want you to keep on with that first part. The initial part is brill. It's really good. But then I really want you to commit to it. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about before you swung the shinai. Don't, from the point you're stepping, right, let's go, let's do this, and be full on committed, Nice. So same thing, right? Your semi is good here. Your semi is good here. You got him to hit the men when he needed to hit the men. But you needed to start bringing the shinai down now, right? The shinai needs to start coming down now, or possibly now. But it keeps going up, and then there's a second before, and before it starts coming down, he's already hit you. Do you understand? So there's a block there somewhere that's slowing this process down. So it's just a split second too late.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing. The first bit is brilliant. It really is. But it's not resulting in a strike. So that's the issue. Yeah. So what we've got to do is we've got to chain that initial approach, that semi, that sasoi, that come on, hit me then, into a successful strike after it. All right. You got to believe it, and commit to it and give it 100% when you go. I'm not saying that's not necessarily what you're doing, because I understand that, it's hard to convey really, but I want you to abandon the fear of them being potentially hitting you or worrying about that they might hit you, and just, give them everything. And like I say, the swing could do with being a bit smaller so that it definitely gets there in time. Because this semi is... You see, even here, this is good. You could have hit men or kote here, and you sort of got a good men, but you had plenty of time to block you. You know what I mean? And it's kind of by virtue of the fact that because the swing was quite big, his sort of hands came up and then came back down again, but... Right, like I said, I think he's super capable of passing this, and I don't have big issues from a technical point of view, but I do think there's too much tension in the right hand, and even on this small pitch, I can slightly see it in your kamae. I can slightly see that your right hand's a little bit tense, all right? The way that your shinai is moving, it's slight. There's right hand in there, whereas it doesn't want to be like this. It wants to be like this. Do you understand what I mean? I'm exaggerating, of course. I can see the right hand controlling it, and that's what's affecting the swing, I think. I want you to think of the tip of your shinai as your way of affecting your intention on the other party. All right? So not this way, but this way. This is coming for you. What are you going to do about it? Do you understand what I mean? And then as soon as, come on then, bam. Not, bam. Do you understand? It's difficult. I understand it's difficult. But I think, the problem is, again, there was a Kaishido in there that was pretty good. And the men that you hit, is it around here? No, it was on the other side of this. Was it this one?
Yeah.
This men was sort of all right, but it wasn't show-stopping, you know. So the semi is fantastic. The beginning is great. But we just got to get them to result in better datotsu. And I definitely think you're capable of it. I really think you can pass this exam. I really do. I want you to keep trying. Because you're sort of doing the hard bit in a way. It's not that the bit that we're struggling with is easy at all. It's not. It's not. But I think you're so on the right track, and I think you're definitely capable of doing it. So I would definitely encourage you to keep trying. All right, so do keep it up. Thank you very much for sending it in. Thank you also for sending this video in as well. That's 2 fantastic videos. Yeah, if you'd like to send your own videos in for this show, I've said how to do it already, but it's basically uploaded to YouTube. Put it as unlisted or public if you don't care about other people seeing it. Do not put it as private, and email me the link at mail@kendostar.com. Give me a bit of information about what's contained in the video, which side you're on, what it is, what level you're trying for, stuff like that. So I've got some background information, and I will definitely make a video for you as well. It just might take me a few weeks. All right. Thank you everyone for joining me today. Don't forget to shop at KendoStar, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.